Hey, I always say welcome to the special edition of Zakiya Larry Live, but they're all special because this season we are on the road going where the stories are. Well, as you can see, I'm all gussied up tonight because I'm at the Essence Black Love Gala. Now, what's so important about this? You will find out this episode. So you two are new, but you're at the Black Love Gala. Are you sending a message, and does love still exist?
Absolutely, love still exists. I think people have different definitions of love, so depending on how you look at it, but I definitely would say love still exists.
I would agree. I concur. That's what you're supposed to say, right?
I think love is very difficult. It's hard to find. At my stage right now, I work a lot, and I'm trying to find somebody who understands my hard work and my ethics in order to be compatible.
I would say I believe in a law of attraction, where again, if you love yourself, people see that. Make it fun, compromise.
It requires work.
It was not difficult.
It wasn't difficult.
We were friends and we eloped.
Yeah.
One of the things that I want people to understand is I think you should definitely explore your single life to the fullest, but understand that once you get married, there are a lot of demands that are going to come your way where you're going to have to compromise. And I think, like the lady said, there's always something you should be rooted in, whether it's spirituality, family values, character, integrity, because you're going to be tested and you need to always be able to come back to that center.
Marriage is two people coming together as a union with baggage or luggage and emptying out suitcases in front of one another and saying, make me a better person.
I'm inside the Essence Black Love Gala. It's popping, and you've already heard some reflections about how to make love work and people's opinions on what people can do better. Now let's go deeper. I want to hear from folks who've been married for a really long time.
I was in the 11th grade. She was in the 10th grade. Fell in love. Did 25 years in the military. Traveled the world. Had 4 wonderful grown kids now. 5 grandkids, and been through so many ups and downs and trials and tribulations, but through it all, we just continue to love each other, and she's a survivor.
Yeah.
So
Recently, breast cancer survivor. So this time last year, this is special tonight because this time last year I was probably in like my 3rd round of chemo, no hair, lost weight, energy, everything depleted. And to be able to, be here today and now celebrate Black love, I really appreciate Essence, doing something like this. I didn't want to pass it up.
Well, it wasn't a consistent 24, so that speaks to how relationships ebb and flow and how challenging it can be. You make different choices at different times. So it was 24 years collectively, but not consecutively. I didn't automatically know that immediately, like when I met Ricky or while we were dating. It was really over the years that when I began to get rooted in my own self that I realized, you know what? This is kind of the guy that I want to hang around for a while, you know what I mean? And to the married people who kind of are looking the other way, like, the grass is a little bit greener, I don't know, it gets a little brown after a while, you know what I mean? So, just stick with your grass and put some stuff on it and pep it up and make it work. You know what I mean? Put some fertilizer on there, right? And pep it up, and everything is difficult. But again, it comes back to choice, so that's my little 2 cents.
I'm gonna say amen.
Amen.
Anyone who thinks that it's straightforward or easy or doesn't take a whole lot of work just probably hasn't had any meaningful relationship. I think any meaningful relationship takes effort and work and thought, but a marriage takes more effort, thought, and energy than anything, because it's where we are our most ourselves, it ought to be, where we are our most ourselves, our most vulnerable, And in order to have true authenticity in a marriage, you have to bear some of yourself, a lot of yourself, in order to actually have that in a what I consider a really fruitful and healthy, fulfilling marriage.
So I appreciate that insight so much. Like, I am clearly taking notes, and I hope you are too, because it's all about elevating. Now listen, now it's time for one of my favorite parts. If you have been following the Ellises on social media, you will know that they are a phenomenal couple. They're absolutely hilarious. They are so real, and they impact millions of people. And they're here at the Essence Black Love Gala, and they're here with me and Zakiya Larry Live, which means the Ellises are coming up right now.
I'm gonna say Zakiya, you're gonna say Larry, and I'm gonna say Lon. All right. What's up, y'all? I'm DeVal.
And I'm Kadeen.
And we're the Ellises, and we're here with Zakiya
Larry.
Live.
Watch it.
This is Hofstra where me and Kay met. You see that door right there?
Yeah.
That's the entrance.
Well, we technically met beforehand.
We met beforehand.
We're gonna have to do a whole vlog
Yeah.
on like how we met, but this is
Hofstra.
like where everything started.
C Square. This is where all the athletes stay. I used to come right here to her door. See, this is her. This is C Square at West. And that brown door there, that's where she had a private entrance to her apartment.
The Ellises.
We are
Oh
here
my
with you.
goodness.
Yeah,
We are here with you.
To be honest,
We just out here together.
pleasure meeting you. So yeah.
I love that. Listen, you are here at the Black Love Gala with Essence. Tell me a little bit about what Black love means to you, and I mean for real, for real.
She said gala. Just I want to put it out there. She said gala.
We've been arguing about whether it's
Arguing
gala
about
or
it's Gala or
gala.
gala. What y'all think?
But see, you took a vote. You took a vote. Who won?
Gala won.
I don't think the vote was even necessarily even.
Gala won.
Because DeVal just like, oh, Gala
Gala
won.
freak, some gala freak. I did with some gala freak. Gala
His
won.
favorite song.
Yes.
Yes.
Gala.
Okay, to the gala. Yes.
So go ahead, Gala.
Back to the gala. What was the question again? Sorry.
This is where you are, but why? You could have chosen to do any number of things to talk about relationships and love, and you do on your platforms. But why a gala that brings together couples and a few single stragglers too? Why?
Well, I mean, you know, we always talk about black love and what it means and why it's important to show black love, because we're not represented a lot in regular mainstream media. You know, it's anytime you have a black star, you know, they're always married to someone else. And then when they show black couples, there's always dysfunction.
Right.
And it's like, how come you can't just have a black couple just be married and have fun and be regular and be normal, which is what black love is. Black love is so special because it's normal. And that's what I think we want to just let people know, that you can have a man and a woman be in love and be happy, and it doesn't have to be draped in dysfunction.
No, absolutely. And I think for me also too, what's important about Black Love, now that we have 2 boys, or 3 boys rather, I gotta keep up. Like,
Yeah, you
3
gotta
boys.
keep up.
I gotta keep up. I need some sleep.
How many drinks you had?
That too. But having 3 boys, you know, I really think back to my parents, or even my in-laws. Who, my parents both, you know, immigrated from the West Indies and wanted to give me and my brother and my sister a better life. We don't have generational wealth in my family necessarily.
Right.
So that's something that we wanted to build for our sons. So we feel like we're, you know, a young millennial couple with 3 boys who's really trying to just make their life better than ours has been, you know, and the legacy is so much bigger.
That's the big thing, is legacy.
It's so much bigger.
Let's talk about legacy.
We've talked
Yeah,
about
so
this
much
since I was 19 and she was 19 and we met. It was always about legacy. What do we want to do? So marriage was important for us because I want my boys to have my name. I want them to know what it's like to build and to pass down wealth and to be able to share that amongst themselves and then help and build together. So legacy is huge, and legacy is built through family. How do you have legacy without family? So for us, family is so important, and it's important with nation building.
Nation building. I love that. So let's talk about building a legacy. Where did you start? Now, I know we've got a background in different careers, we've got athletics, but listen, social media is something that you've leveraged in an incredible way. Is that part of how you are shifting and building your legacy?
Well, I mean, we're both actors, we're both entertainers, but we're both artists. And the greatest artists understand that technology dictates where the art form is going to go. So when you look at the greatest artists of all time, where they transfer from media, from movies to TV, then TV to social media is up next. And if you can become ahead of the curve and start to create content for people to digest, you can be the biggest star in the world and have access to people from your cell phone. So it's like, to me, it's not just a PR thing. It's more about creating content that people can just and get to know us. This is our stage. This is our sitcom right here. I'm not gonna wait for someone to give me a sitcom. I'm not gonna wait for someone to hire my wife as my wife. No, let's do it together. Let's write our own content. Let's get it out there. And she's been with it from the beginning.
I'm not gonna lie. When he did bring me the idea to leverage social media in that way, at first I was a little skeptical, only because I tend to be a little bit more private, and then I pretend to be, I tend to be mama bear because we have 3 sons, and people are just crazy nowadays. You hear about all these like crazy things happening in the world. So I did have a couple reservations in the beginning, but I said, you know what, this is also an opportunity for us to control our own narrative.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the greatest part about social media, is that you control what's put out there. So people will always say, oh my God, you put so much stuff out there and we know so much about you guys. And I'm like, well, y'all technically know what we want y'all to know.
Hello.
And,
to be honest.
And to be 100% honest, it's an art form.
Yeah.
If I'm a rapper and I rap about my life, people love it. If I'm a painter and I paint about my life, so I'm an actor, I'm a writer. We direct, we direct, we put it together for our life. All it is
well,
an art form.
I love that you get both pieces, because I'm a PR director. I've worked on the international level before, shifting back into media, and I tell people all the time, it's about the narrative. So with you controlling your own narrative, that is so critical. But I love that you're adding the art form to it too.
Oh yeah.
Now I've not heard that before. A lot of people want to be transparent, but to what end? So would you say the art form and legacy is your why?
Well, I mean, the art form is the why. I wanted to show that as an artist, I don't have to play the traditional, typical, stereotypical roles as a black man in Hollywood. I'm being 100% honest. I've booked roles on major networks, and I've always been the gangbanger, the prison person. I've been in a lineup. I've been a killer. And it was like, you know what? I'm tired of walking in these auditions and all the black guys are those characters, and everyone else is the attorney, the lawyer. Can I play a dad? And I know I got tattoos and I know I'm big because I play football, but I can be a dad. And that's when it hit me. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to play a dad on social media. And we created what we call a social sitcom. It's a social sitcom. When you watch our Insta story, when you watch our Instagram, it is a sitcom of our life that people can laugh at, they can have fun. It's skits, but it's us. They all over the place. Look at this. Look at this.
I need a Ronaldo jersey, yo.
Look at your nose. This is all I've been doing all day. Wiping booties, wiping noses. These two got colds. Hey, go get me a tissue.
We try to make everything relatable, because it's funny, you go through things as a mom, you go through things as a wife, and sometimes you think you're crazy. I'm just like, I'm the only one that feels this way. And the great thing about this is that we've seen so many people be able to relate to certain situations. Some things that are like men and women situations or mom and dad situations, but some things that are just human being or individual situations that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. So it's great to be able to offer that so people can feel like, you know what, I go through the same thing too, and I'm not insane for feeling the way I feel. Deval goes through it, Kadeen goes through it, and it's just fun to watch.
I love that.
And we appreciate our audience so much because they choose us. They choose us. They choose to follow. They choose to share and like and comment. And people get so caught up on social media about negative comments. To me, there's no such thing as a negative comment when it's an art form. Think about it. When you play a character, and that character is a bad character, and it invokes hate in someone, you've done your job as an artist.
It made you feel something.
Right? So when we play these roles on social media and we play out these arguments, and people are like, I can't stand Deval, he's so this, he's so that, I sit back and I'm like, I'm really doing what my character was supposed to do. So for me, there's no such thing as a negative comment. I invoke some sort of emotion that you're gonna come back and watch.
Exactly.
That's the artistry
And
in
just
social
to be clear
media.
too, a lot of what we do is not fictional. It's actually stuff that happens in our house that tends to be hilarious, or we're like, that would make a funny video, and then we'll reenact it, of course, because you have to get different angles, but that's the art in it.
But that's what art imitates life.
Art imitates life, and it's the truth. It's the actual truth in your expression. That is so powerful. Well, listen, as we land the plane here, tell me, how long have you been married, and advice for singles hoping to get married? That's one. And then advice for couples who are married and who are saying, yeah, I don't know about this. Go
ahead.
Well, we've been married for 8 years.
Yes.
Together 16 years.
Yes.
So it's a long, long, long time. My advice for singles would be to work on your individual self and be the best version of yourself before you think about committing to someone else. Reason being, if you're coming as a half person or not really knowing what you want to do with yourself, and you're trying to find happiness in a spouse or in a partner, you're gonna always be disappointed. So it's really about finding who you are first as an individual, I think, and then being able to come as a whole person and offer that to someone else. So that would be my advice for single people looking.
That's the singles. What do you think?
Yeah.
My advice for single people would be live your truth when you meet someone. Let someone love you for who you are. The minute you go in there with a representative, they begin to fall in love with that representative, then you show them your true self. That's when relationships fail. The reason why Kadeen loves me is she loves the flawed version of DeVal. The messed up, egotistical, dramatic,
Well, damn, you ain't that
sensitive,
bad.
everything about me, she loves.
I do.
You know, like all the flaws. Like I can be myself. I can walk in and have a bad day and I know that my wife's not going nowhere.
Yeah.
Because she's seen all of this. And that's what I would tell her.
Absolutely. And then my advice for married couples would be just be willing and open to change. And that's with growing. So for example, like DeVal said, I love the flawed DeVal. It's because DeVal at 18 is not DeVal at 28. DeVal at 28 is not DeVal at 38. And if he were the same person, I would kind of be concerned because I'd say, you know what, in 10 years you ain't grow? Like, did you not grow and learn anything in 10 years? So be able or be willing to compromise and to be understanding and to know that change is inevitable, change is necessary, but the real test is being able to work through that.
Oh, wow. Love it. Married folks.
Married folks, be willing to accept the words from your partner. Sometimes communication is not always about speaking, it's about listening. When your partner tells you something, listen to it. Don't take it personal. That's their truth. Accept it and be ready to reciprocate whatever they need to get done.
And
That's
listen
it.
with the intent to understand, not just reply or respond.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
That's
something I had to learn, and I'll be honest about that. I used to just kind of hear what you're saying and be quick to defend myself in a sense, and I'm like, you know what? Sometimes I have to just like understand where he's coming from, and we may have to agree to disagree, but at least there's an understanding that we have a common ground that you reach. So
absolutely, absolutely,
That's it.
and it works. That's
Clearly.
I think.
It works sometimes. We'll see tonight if it works.
We'll see in 10 years if we're still.
First of all, sir. I love it, guys.
You can't see where I got my hand right now.
Right, you can't. Don't pan down. Don't pan down.
Don't pan down. Thank you guys so much for joining us here, for joining Zakiya Larry Live. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. It has been a phenomenal night at the Essence Black Love Gala. We've gotten tips, tools, and insights from folks who are single. Think about that. People who are newly dating, even folks who've been married for many years. And our cherry on top, we talked to the Ellises, who talked to us about how they make love work, how you can too, and also how they're building a legacy through social media, and even gave us business tips. So business, brand, love, you know, I'm all about that here at Zakiya Larry Live. And so you know what, I might have to go and bust a move, so let me give you your 1 minute elevate. Love works. All you gotta do is put in some effort and ask people who've done it before to help you get to where you're going. It's Zakiya Larry Live. Like, share, comment. Quickest 1 minute elevate ever, because I'm at the Essence Black Love Gala and I'm about to go bust a move. I will see you next episode. ZakiyaLarryLive.tv. It's Zakiya Larry Live.
Zakiya